Hello, and welcome to the Knitting Traditions Podcast. My name is Inga, and I live on the west coast of Norway, where I work as a doctor and spend the rest of my time knitting. So, this is my little corner where I will talk to you about what I am making, knitting on, knitting plants. A few times, usually I just cast on whatever, so I don't really have that many plans, more like planned wishes. So settle in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. If you like this content, please feel free to subscribe and like the video. I record as often as I can. Life is busy, but today I had a little bit of free time, so I just wanted to check in with you guys. I am drinking some lovely herbal tea. There's a brand here that's called Klostertee, which means monastery tea, and it's plain white tea bags, but they're very mild herbal green teas. And this one is for a detox, it says. Whatever that means, it tastes like licorice. Anyway, I digress. We're here for the knitting content. Oh, this cup, by the way, was gifted to me by the online store Bed of Roses here in Norway. She has some beautiful yarns, and I really enjoy this cup for some lovely teas. Okie dokie. What I am wearing... Oh, I moved everything. Sorry. I am wearing my Shifty sweater by Andrea Mowry. I knit this one last year and it turned out a lot smaller than intended. This one definitely has negative ease on me. I really struggled to get gauge. I should have just ignored gauge and knit with the recommended needle. That way it would have been a bigger. I did have to rip back the yoke a couple of times because there was just too much fabric after I think the fourth increase round. I talk about it in previous podcasts if you're interested. I used the recommended yarn. I used only 2 colorways though. I think I might be wrong, but I believe it was Grumpy Birds and Burnt Sugar. One of the green one that I kind of used all the way throughout was the night. Is it called the Night Shift? It's the dyed in the wool, which uses non-superwash yarn, and I believe the base is darker, so it doesn't have that much variation in color as the regular dyed in the wool has from Spincycle. Just trying to remember old information. I usually throw things out of my head as I go just to fit in the next information. That's how it is. But yeah, 3/4 length sleeves on this one. I did a lot of spit splicing, or did I do magic? I think I did magic knot to cut out the segments of the colors that I didn't like so much. I didn't want the cool tones. I wanted more of the orangey brown colors. So I am happy with the result. I don't really wear it that much because it is a bit small. There is definitely negative ease here. So it's a bit tight, not uncomfortably tight. Younger me would have loved this fit. Present me prefers a bit more oversized cozy knits. But anywho, I am also wearing socks because it's fall season and these are dirty because I wear socks all the time. And wool stuff, non-superwash woolly clothes, you don't have to wash them all the time because wool is naturally odor and dirt repellent. It's kind of self-cleansing, so I throw my socks in a box and I only wash them if they get like really dirty, or yeah, so getting to know me here. These socks are my own pattern, the mohair socks, which is really just a vanilla sock, but with the heel construction that my grandmother taught me. And I actually have a finished object to show you using the same pattern. So maybe we can start with that. I have some like smaller finished objects since last time. So I went away for a week and I decided to bring some sock knitting with me. Let's focus. I'm trying a new video camera thingy that lets the camera focus. So yeah, these are my mohair socks. I did a little bit of modification. I added a garter bump edge to the side of the heel. This just makes it easier to pick up stitches. So if you find the picking up stitches part a bit hard to know where to pick up, I do sometimes the last and the first 3 stitches in garter, which means you knit them on the knit side and on the purl side, and that kind of makes it easier to see where to pick up. And it's also easier to count how many rows I have done before doing some decreases and finishing. And that makes it easier to make the flap equally long. And for this heel, as well as the regular flap and gusset, is that what they call it? Heel flap and gusset. Both of this and that heel is really good if you have a long instep, because to accommodate for a big instep, so this part, if this part is usually tight on your feet, just knit the flap longer before you either do the gusset or do the decreases and knitting together, which is what's in my pattern. Because that way, when you have a longer flap, you pick up more stitches, increasing the circumference of this part, and then you're doing, is this what's actually called the gusset? I get a bit confused with terminology, but if you make this part longer before doing the next step, that makes you pick up more stitches for this step, and then you're knitting together down here to get to the circumference for your foot size again. And that makes it customizable. I usually have 4 stitches more for this. I use the old Norwegian cast on or the German twisted cast on because it's stretchy. And then once I finish this, I usually decrease 4 stitches to make the leg a little bit tighter. I never swatch for socks, so if I see that it's a bit big, I will do some decreases on the back here until it fits nicely. And with these decreases again, I will decrease until it fits my foot nicely. I ignore having like the same stitch count throughout because that doesn't fit my feet. So that's some simple modifications that you can do to make socks fit you better. And then I have 2 sock patterns. One of them uses the regular like a very normal toe sock where you decrease on each side and then Kitchener stitch bind off. But my rustic cable socks, I do a rounded toe, and I decided to do that for these socks as well. So with the rounded toe, I, in this pair, knit 2 together and then knit 5 and repeated that throughout. And then I knit 5 rounds with no decreases, then knit 2 together in 4 stitches, and then knit 4 rounds, and then knit 2 together in 3 stitches, and then 3 rounds. And you kind of get the idea. Simple how to do a rounded toe. It's in my rustic cable sock pattern. It depends what kind of yarn you're using, what kind of, like how many, sometimes you can do knit 2 together in 6 stitches and then 6 rows. It really depends on what fits your feet the best and the yarn you're using. So kind of try it out and see what works best for you. So for this one, I had knit this part quite long already, so I decided to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and skip like the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. I have forgotten to mention what sock yarn this is. I used hedgehog fibers. I've knit a pair of my Murcel socks with this as a single color before. So I don't have the ball band here right now, but it's a very vibrant orange. Very autumnal and pumpkin-y, so I wanted to use this for a contrast. And then I had this in my stash. Originally, I thought this was a yarn that I was gifted, but then I realized that I did actually buy this yarn at the same time as I bought this yarn. I had just forgotten. So this is also hedgehog fibers. I bought it at my local yarn store at the cabin last year. And I do have the ball band for this. So this is the hedgehog fibers in the color Brigid, and this is 100 grams, 400 meters, 90% merino and 10% nylon. And this is superwash, so it was not the best to knit with. I don't like the feeling of superwash in my hands, but it wasn't too bad. This was definitely more icky than this one, so I don't know if there's a difference between the colorways, but I'm pretty sure they were exactly the same base, which is the hedgehog fibers sock yarn. But I thought they worked really well together. As you see, the orange is also found in the Brigid colorway, so they complemented each other. And I still have quite a bit left, so I could probably squeeze out another pair of contrasts. What would it be? Cuffs, heels, and toes with this colorway. And maybe even another shorties pair with this yarn. But for now, I think it's going to go back into my stash. So that was my first finished object. I'm pretty sure these are gonna be for me because I do love these colorways. I do want to make socks for gifts because they do make great gifts. I have a lot of people in my family that would wear knitted socks if they got them gifted. It's just that knitting socks, you have to make two, so I'm thinking this year it might not be that many socks for Christmas gifts. I'm already starting to think about Christmas gifts, and I want to enjoy fall. Everyone is putting out Christmas decorations, but we're not even halfway through November, so it's too soon for me. I'm still waiting for summer, and that never came to this side of Norway, so I feel like I've missed out on all the seasons. Okay. I'm sorry if I keep shaking the camera. I have like a very intricate system to have a bit of daylight to record, so I'm hoping I'm not making you seasick. It'll be better next time if I can find a day with actual light to record. So speaking of Christmas gifts, I have made 3 hats since I last recorded. So I think last time I had finished this, this is the Oak Beanie by Vera Valimaki, and I used hodgepodge 100% merino. It was like 100 meters per the skein. And yeah, so I wanted to make another one because I had 2 skeins, so I managed to squeeze out a second one. But as you can see, the top part of the hat, my face is focusing, the top part of the hat is different. So this is the original crown decreases that was in the pattern. Actually, I have it inside out because I like the inside better. It's a little edge sticking out. So this was the original decreases in the pattern, and I just didn't like how it looked with this yarn. So for the second one, I did the decreases, which are in the pattern Watch Cap Hat by Pearl Soho. These are both free patterns, by the way. But when I wear it inside out, I don't mind how the decreases look, so I really like them. I feel like the first hat I made is bigger, even though I used the same yarn and the same needles and knit them quite close together. So what I might do is, because I haven't really worn it that much since I've been working and away, I think I wore it once, I might gift this one instead of this one, just because I have a tiny head, so I can use this one, but if I gift it, I'm not sure if the recipient will be able to wear it, because not many people have toddler-sized heads like me. So yeah, I might do that. I haven't decided quite yet. I also haven't decided who is getting what. I have several people who I could gift beanies to, so I think I'm gonna figure out which color would fit which one better. And there's something rare and shiny coming through the window. We don't often see it here. I think it's called sunlight, but I'm not sure. So yeah, that is another finished object, the oak beanie by Vera Valimaki, free pattern. I just did the crown decreases from the watch cap hat instead. So that is going into the gift basket to be assigned. What is this? I think I'm gonna have some tea and see if it goes away. Okay, I just put a curtain in front of it because it was blinding. I have made 2 more hats in the past 2 days, and voila! This is the watch cap hat, basically, by Pearl Soho. It's great for fudging numbers. I think I had 55 stitches for this one. You can see. And then I did a second one, which I'm going to gift, and this one I did 60 stitches for. So it's slightly bigger, again, because I have child-sized head and not everyone does. The yarn that I used for this hat, I bought in Turkey this September, and the yarn is Gazal Viking. Focus. Come on. Gazal Viking. And this was supposed to be wool. It was in an area of the store where it said it was 100% wool, but I didn't pay attention. It was not. It's actually 70% acrylic and 30% wool. It's 100 meters and 109 yards, and suggested needle size was 8. But I figured it was nice and soft and it would make good gifts for people who are sensitive to wool, so it's not going to go to waste. And I bought 2 balls of it so that I would get a hat, but I managed to squeeze a hat out of each of the balls. This is all I have left, just a little bit of scraps. And I can show you how it looks. Freshly showered. So yeah, this is the size, which was 55 stitches. There's a thick brim. I like it. It's very stretchy. Again, I do the old Norwegian cast on or the German twisted cast on. It's nice and stretchy. So if I gift this, even if I gift it to a person with a big head, it's going to be very stretchy, and you can't just make the brim shorter if they have a big head, right? So I figured if they have a small head, it will look like on me with a thick brim. It's nice and rounded. I like how it fits, and it's going to be a Christmas gift. You just have to figure out who to give this to. Every time I knit a hat, I want it for myself because I love knitted beanies. So I think it's good having 2 balls. Then I make one for me, and then I can, based on how it fits, knit another one to gift. So like one is a swatch and one is either for me or the other person, depending on how the first one fits. So that was 2 other finished objects. And I don't think I'm gonna wear it inside. I have more finished objects. Or I haven't woven in the ends and I haven't blocked it yet, but I made a baby blanket. And this was a free pattern on Hobby that I found because I was Googling baby blankets and it came up, and this blanket actually used the same yarn that I had, just in a rainbow color. I'll put the name of the pattern here. So this is sort of an ombre kind of thing going on, and I still haven't woven in the ends. So you use one cake, so there's just the end at the beginning and end to weave in, which is nice because this is 100% cotton, which means that weaving in ends is not the best. The yarn is Alize Bella Ombre Batik. I bought this in Turkey this summer. I'm not sure if this is the right color because I bought two colors. I bought this one and then I bought a aqua turquoise color, which is almost finished, but it's in the car and Matthias didn't take it out before he went to work, so I don't have it here. So I will either put in a photo if I have one, or I will show you in the next episode. That one is actually going to be a gift. I initially cast on this for the intended person, but she's having a boy, and I personally don't think that color is gender, or that you know, some colors fit certain genders. I think anyone can wear anything. But I'm not sure how she would feel about this peachy color, so I decided to make her a turquoise one which was supposed to be for a baby shower, but I didn't finish it in time because I, decided to go for a different color. But I will put this away for a later time to gift or keep. I don't know. It would make a really nice towel too. But yeah, really enjoyed this pattern. It was easy. You knit on one side and then on the other side you create stitches and decrease stitches, and it creates this shape. So it was a nice semi-mindless knit. And then I have two more finished objects. The lovely 100 Acre Wool, she created a YouTube tutorial for how to knit pumpkins. And I had a look through my stash. I found some pumpkin-y looking colorways in my scrap yarn, and I made pumpkins. So first I made this pumpkin, which used the tynn pelt wool from Hillesvåg, I believe, in the color cognac, and I love this yarn. It's very rustic, heathered looking, beautiful. And I did 10 knit stitches, 1 purl stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did 66 stitches for this one, and I believe I used 3.5 millimeter needles to make this. Quite a dense gauge, so that the stuffing won't show. And then I put a little branch from my apple tree in. So that's the first one that I made. And the second one that I made, I used a combination of yarns. So this used some scraps from my chestnut cardigan from Marie Wallen in a color that looks pretty much like this, together with a yarn from, I believe it's Shetland wool from it's a coned yarn, that is from Jameson and Smith, I believe. So yeah, I used a bit of that just to combine it and get it a bit thicker. And for this one, I did 4 knit stitches, 1 purl stitch, and I think 50 stitches total for this one. So it's a little bit smaller, not a lot smaller, just a little bit smaller. And these two are decorating my TV bench over by that plant over there when I'm not recording. So those were very quick and kind of fun projects, and I'm loving having them out and about, and instead of lying as small scraps that are not getting to shine. These are a lot better way of having them as interior design. And I would like to have more. I just there's so many things to knit, but at least I have some knitted decorations now. Okay, so those were the finished objects, and we've already talked for half an hour, so let's go through the current whips that I have. This one you haven't seen in a couple of episodes. This is a single-stranded mohair sweater using tynn silk mohair from sandnes garn. And let's see, I have the pattern in this book, which is Myk til dame, or Soft for Women, from sandnes garn. And the pattern of this, I have to check because I haven't knit on it in a while and I've already forgotten the name because I'm awful. It's a Jules genser. And I'm using the recommended yarn for this. And I'm working on the sleeves, and I have just picked this back up again because I want this color before Christmas is here. But I'm not sure if I'll make it because I have several things that I want done this fall, and there's not enough hours in a day when I'm working so much. But I do want to knit a bit further on this. And another sweater that I'm working on from the same book is the guernsey genser, which I can show you. This one has been on the previous episodes. I'm using nutiden in the color grodd together with isager silk mohair in the color 57. It's some beautiful colors. And I was very kindly sent more yarn so I can finish this, but I haven't really gotten a lot done since last time, just because I've been working a lot. And for this sweater, I really want to be able to sit down for several hours and just knit away. And I haven't really had the time to do that, so this has been resting on the couch waiting for me. But maybe I can knit a few rows today before I go back to work. That would be a nice way to spend the day. Let's see where I can put it. It's gonna be right here. And when I went away, I did bring one of my summery projects with me. This is a pillowcase that I'm making, and I am knitting with linen stitch, which is quite time consuming. It's over halfway done, but there's still quite a bit to go. I'm using Gazal 100% organic cotton in a DK weight, and I'm using 4.5 millimeter needles. So I did get a few rows in on this when on holiday, but yeah, this is going to be put aside again for the next holiday. It's a great holiday knit because it takes forever to knit, so you most likely won't run out of knitting. But yeah, it's not what I want to knit on now. I want to knit on all the garments. So this is going to be put away in a knitting bag for a future date. I am working on this hat still. I got in maybe this much since last time. Again, it's the watch cap hat. I've made one before and I'm making a second one now, and I'm hoping to make this one longer than this one because this one fits me. Well, it just fits me. It doesn't have like the very thick brim. So if I'm going to gift this for someone, I want to make it just a little bit longer so it will fit. But again, it's super stretchy. And this used some commercial yarn named Inca, and it's a really beautiful colorway. Yeah, I do love a good brown, and it's really, really pretty. So yes, a gift knit on the go. The last two whips that I've been working on is a part of the make-along that I'm running with the Woolly Knit, and it runs until the 1st of December. All the information is in the description box below. If I'm talking about something today, it's below. And the winner will win a gift card of £75 to their online store, or probably you could use it in their actual store as well, but a gift card of £75 and free international shipping. And I have been making several things. I have two projects on the go. I have finished two already, and they sent me yarn for this make-along, just to be open about that. And I am making my third half and half triangles wrap by Pearl Soho. And I have gotten quite a bit done on the second triangle since the last time I recorded. I did bring this with me, and it is a great plain and card knitting because it's so mindless. The first half I used the color Jet Black, and I've cast on the largest size of the shawl, which is 260 stitches. And the second color is the Skiddaw Nep Brown. And I have not weighed how much yarn I've used of the black one, but I would say probably less than half. I will weigh it up once I have finished this one to see how much this weighs, and then I will know how much I've used of each one of these in grams. I am really enjoying knitting with the Skiddaw Nep Brown. I think it's really pretty with the little nips and neps of black, and then the beige color itself has some brown tones to it, and I'm loving it. I think it's gonna be a really nice and warm shawl. It's a lot lighter weight than the two versions I've made with the Pearl Soho linen quill. It's very airy and light, but super warm. So this is going to be so nice when it's done. I'm looking forward to it. It's no rush. I'm enjoying knitting on it. But yeah, I really enjoy the process of this, and the result, it's also going to be great. So that's a win-win. The last whip that I have that I'm knitting for this make-along is the Copenhagen cardigan, where I'm using the color Loden Green and holding it together with drops Kid Silk, and the color for the green Kid Silk, I actually brought it with me today. The color is 19, the color 19. So these together, this is so I actually bought this color from Woolly Knit before they sent it to me, and so the ones that I had bought myself were in the 125 gram cones, and I've started my second half of that, so still I might get away with using just 250 grams probably for this entire cardigan. I used less than 250 grams for the pullover that I showed in the last episode, the Francis. I think I said something wrong in the last episode, but it's by Mint Knitwear, Melinda. I believe it's the Francis pullover was the name. That used less than 250 grams of the woolly knit cone, the British wool 4-ply. So I'm assuming this will also do that. Since last time, I have knit the pockets. I have not sewn them or fastened them yet. This is a pattern by Petite Knit. This was a new way of doing pockets for me. I am probably knitting it longer than in the pattern just because I don't know. Maybe I made the pockets a bit deeper by mistake, and now I want to make sure that the body is deep enough to kind of hide the pockets, which I think they do now, and then there will be a button or like ribbed edge on the bottom. And then it's just the sleeves to go and making buttonholes and fastening the buttons in the end. You knit the button band with the fabric and it is definitely rolling in on itself. So I'm hoping with blocking that it will stay out. Time will tell. But it's a beautiful fabric and I'm very much looking forward to having it. I have made the size large just because I didn't want a tight fit. So it's a bit big, but I think it's going to be nice. And yeah. Also my gauge is a bit tighter than in the pattern, I think. So that's why I went with the large and not the medium. So I think it's going to be nice. Nice and cozy with pockets. So I think that was all of my whips. So if you want to participate in the make along, just make something with British wool and use the hashtag WKxKT on Instagram before the 1st of December and you're eligible to win a prize from them. Also the lovely cat from Heather and Hops, another YouTube podcaster which I adore, has donated some patterns for this make along. And if you can't get your hands on some woolly knit or British wool, we do have the rustic knit along, which I forget to talk about, but it's running all year. And sometime between Christmas and New Year's, I will draw winner, at least one winner, yes, probably one winner, from the hashtag for the rustic knit along. All the information in the description box below, but it's also run through Instagram. And I will send some prizes to the lucky winner. There will probably be several smaller winners for gifted patterns that has been donated to this make-along. And one knitwear designer has actually not only donated patterns to the rustic knit along, but she also has a discount code for you. And I don't want to butcher her name, so I'm going to put it here. And the discount code, I'm also going to put it here. And again, if you're wondering about anything, everything will be in the description below. So that is something that you can check out and join in if you like to. The rustic knit along is basically knitting something with, or making, it doesn't have to be knitting, making something with natural fibers, non-superwash, plastic free, just a celebration of the natural fibers out there. And I think that was all I had to say about that. Last section, acquisitions. I don't have a lot, so if you're not into that, I will see you next time. If you are into that, I just have one acquisition to show today, and that is my knit crate, which arrived just this morning. So I'm an affiliate member of Knit Crate. That means that they sent me their monthly box of yarn, which is usually 2 skeins. And then I have a coupon code and a link to their website below. And if you use either one of those, I get a little bit of money from Knit Crate if you were to buy anything. So full disclosure. And this month, the colorways were all in like the cooler wheelhouse. There was a blue, a lilac, a purpley burgundy, and a multicolored one. And not my favorite colors for fall. For me, fall is more shades of brown. But they sent me these two. So you don't decide which color you get. That is sort of a surprise, and to me, part of the fun. These two lilac ones will make really nice gifts. However, I do like lilac, but more of a vibrant lilac, although now that I'm looking at it, it's not too bad. It does suit when I have blonde hair. This is the Nutology swirl in the color Coquettes. Is that how you say it? Coquettes. It's not easy to get things to focus. I now understand why other podcasters struggle with focus. This is a 65% superwash merino and a 35% suri alpaca. It's a worsted weight, 205 meters to 100 grams. So I think this would make really nice gifts for friends' children. So it might just become that, or gift the yarn itself, if I don't think I will make it myself, to someone who do love more of the lilac tones. Decisions. And in this month, because usually they send a little bit of something extra, they sent some soak, which is, if you don't know soak, it's a wool wash that you don't have to rinse out. So I often, when I finish knitting projects, I soak it in warm water with some non-rinsable detergent like this, made for wool, and I leave it overnight. Then just squeeze out the water and lay flat to dry. That's how fancy my blocking is. So that's really nice. This one is scentless too, so it could be good to use if I'm gifting something for someone who is sensitive to odors. Could be good. Yeah, so I think that was everything I had to talk about today. Lots of small projects finished, which is good because it takes a little bit of stress away for Christmas. I mean, I don't have to knit for anyone. I just like to. Yeah, I definitely have enough yarn in my life, so it's nice to spread it out and share it with people I love. And now I think I am going to make myself something warm to drink again and sit down and knit on one of my sweater projects. And hopefully I didn't forget to talk about something today. And yeah, if you're wondering about anything, check the description box below and see if the info is there. And if not, I am more active on Instagram between episodes when I have time. I hope you're well. I hope you're making what you love. And I will see you soon. Bye.